So find that comfortable seat, allowing the sitting bones to connect down to the ground. And let the palms face down on your knees. Let the eyes shut down. For the next hour, this is your time. Your time to connect within, to let go of what has happened, what is happening. And we're going to focus on the side body. The back line of the body is said to be our past. The front line, our future. And the side is where the two meet. I guess really our present. So in this present moment, take a moment to check in. How are you feeling? Not that rushed answer that you would say because you believe it's the answer you've got to give. How are you truly feeling? Maybe in need of your yin. Maybe the energy levels are feeling a little higher with the gorgeous day that we've had. Maybe you're feeling a little deflated, knowing that we're in lockdown for a little longer. Acknowledge how you're feeling, but then let that go. Notice if there's any tension being held in the body, any discomfort. How is your breath? Is it able to move freely in and out? Or the areas where it's starting to get a little bit clogged? We're just going to do a simple pranayama breath exercise called square breath. So just breathe normally as I explain it. We'll breathe in for the count of 4. We'll pause for the count of 4. We'll exhale for the count of 4. We'll pause for the count of 4. I just want you to really connect with that breath within you. Try not to force it. If the count of 4 is too much, drop it to 3. Just start to let that breath connect you to your body and start to feel a sense of lightness coming through physically, mentally, and through the breath. So take a normal inhale together. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out fully. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Pause for 4. Exhale for 4. Pause for 4. Inhale for 4. Find that pause. Exhale slowly for 4. Pause for 4. Inhale 4. Pause at the top. Exhale 4. Pause. Inhale your normal pace. Find the pause at the top of that inhale. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out. Find the pause at the end. Just take a few rounds of breath. And every time you exhale, let go of what isn't serving you. Past thoughts, past actions. You start to feel a sense of joy in the breath. That invitation of whatever lies ahead, a readiness, but not thinking forward. Try and stay in this present moment. And then slowly in your own time, maybe keeping the eyes closed, gently come up and over, coming to a wide-kneed child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide as you walk the arms down in front of you, resting the forehead to the ground. Just take a moment to land here. To scan the body every time you enter a pose. Where can you adjust? Where do you need to modify? Sometimes it's a physical adjustment. Sometimes it's mental. Sometimes it's energetically. Don't be afraid to move. But if you do need to move, do so mindfully. In your own time, lift the forehead up and slowly walk both arms over to the right side of your mat. Resting back here. Starting to feel that space come from the left side, along the torso, reaching up through that left arm. Take a moment to just be here. Tonight's practice is going to explore finding space. As time goes on, maybe you adjust forward or back. The beauty of being in our own homes, our own bubbles, is that you have a lot of props at hand. A cushion, a blanket, a pile of books even. So at any time you need, use what you have around you to lift the earth, to soften the ground. Like always, as the practice goes on, the chatter from me becomes less. The invitation is to just stay in this moment. The temptation is to fill the silence. So if your mind starts to chatter, acknowledge it, but try not to get into a conversation. Instead, maybe you come back to that 4-part breath. And after a while, focusing on the breath, you'll find that space to be still. Hopefully you've made your surroundings just right. The lights might be dimmed, soft music playing, a candle burning. At the same time, when I mention different things, try not to let them engage you. The conversations, oh, I should have put a candle on next time. In this moment, wherever you are, whatever is around you is perfect for right now. Keep that breath moving in and slowly release it. And gently pushing down into the hands, lifting your torso up, and then slowly rolling over onto your sitting bones, left or right, whatever feels natural. And bring the hands behind you and just widen your feet a little and windshield wipe the knees side to side. Feeling that freedom through the hips. Maybe they feel a little bit stiff, having held child's pose. The movements for you might be fast, they might be slow. Just notice what is on offer. And in your own time, I'm just going to turn towards you so you can see me. Right leg out to the side, draw the left foot in towards that inner thigh. And then slowly turn the torso towards that left leg. So navel drawing towards the sitting bone. Gently hold here for a moment. If you need to bend that right leg, find a gentle bend. Try not to lock that knee off. And then just getting your right hand, you're going to take it to the outside of the right thigh and slide that hand all the way down the leg. From here, you might bend the elbow, resting your head. You might bring a prop down the outside of the leg, or maybe resting over the leg. That left hand may stay on your left knee, or you might reach it up and over. It doesn't matter how far you go here. What matters is that you find where you need to be now. There's that gentle turning of the torso towards that left knee. That slow folding of the right side of the torso coming down the right leg. And if you haven't got props at home, don't worry, you don't need them. Always in that first minute, I invite you to explore what is on offer in this moment. It's like playing Goldilocks. Where is too much? Where is too little? And where is just right? Tonight, the target area is the side body. But there will be other areas you might feel the pose. So just take note. And if you need to send the breath, send it to that area that is needed. And take note of the neck. Noticing if the gaze needs to be lifted or if the neck is tight, maybe you turn it down to face the ground. The beauty of Yin is that it's really design your own. Yes, there are pictures that we can have a look at what shape we're trying to create with our body. But everybody's anatomy is different. So therefore, the shape will be different. Take a full breath in here. A long, slow breath out. Remember, if you need to back out, then just do so mindfully. You do not have to stay in the pose for the full duration. But at the same time, maybe just ask why you're coming out. Is it because there's discomfort? If there is pain, then you should never stay in that pain. But sometimes discomfort moves to comfort. Slowly lifting yourself up. Gently let that right hand help fold the right foot to the ground, drawing the left foot next to it as you gently curl into a ball. Sometimes tonight we'll do a rebound after each pose, but other times it will happen after a couple. The rebound is that opportunity to notice what has gone on, to see if there's been a shift physically, energetically. And even in this simple pose, maybe the body feels a little different. Maybe your shoulders have started to drop away from your ears. The mind, hopefully, has started to still. The yang movement is lifting your body up to slowly come back to that child's pose, pausing down the middle again, just finding that stillness. If we had have come straight onto the other side, the hips would have started to feel fatigue. And that's why we just transitioned to our half butterfly before we came here again. In your own time, lifting the forehead up, and this time walking both arms over to the left. Resting the forehead back down on the ground. You might keep that left arm extended long. You could even bend the elbow, resting the forehead on that hand. That right arm just reaching long, but not reaching so far that you feel like you're tearing the body further. There's that balance of sthita and sukha, effort and ease. What I've noticed over the last 9 weeks is that a lot of people have been getting out and moving the body physically after spending time inside more than usual in different working situations. That need to get out and move, to feel fresh air, to breathe in the air is so important. But equally as important is finding that time to sit within. But not sitting with thoughts going through the mind, over analyzing what is happening in this moment. It's finding that time to be as we are now. I often refer to it as that space of nada, where there is nothing, but at the same time, there is everything. Slowly lifting your forehead up, gently walking back through center, then gently walk back, coming over onto your sitting bones. Just bringing the hands behind the windshield, wipe those knees again. And gently find that stillness as you come to allowing the legs to settle. This time it's the left leg that is long, the right foot to the inside. And then bring that right hand to your knee, turning your torso towards the bent knee. And just find where you need to be with that left leg, a bend in the knee. Even the sole of the foot might be flat on the ground for some of you. And then slowly allowing that left hand to sit on your left hip. Feel the twist in your torso. Then slowly extending that left arm down your left leg, finding that reach, but that softness. And you might stay here, or you might draw that right arm up and over. For me, this is enough as I am. For some of you, depending on your anatomy, maybe what you've done today, you may have more, or you might even have less. Use the props if you need to. Remember that first minute in the pose is explorative. Temptation is to go where we went last time we were on our mats. Or maybe where you went on the other side. But you have two sides. One will be more dominant than the other. So treat them differently. Take the time to explore where you need to be on this side and in this moment. And once you've found that, simply let it be. Remember, adjust where you need to as we stay in the pose. Take a full breath in here. A long, slow breath out. I know myself from practicing virtually. Sometimes we think, am I there? Is the other person there? But I am. So trust that my voice will come back in when it is time to come out. And slowly lifting yourself up. The left hand helps bend that left leg again. Both soles of the feet to the earth in front of you. Just gently curling into that ball. How does the body feel now having done both sides? there a sense of harmony? Maybe that feeling of length. And slowly uncurling back up, coming into our next Yin pose, butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of the feet together, and I want you to create a really wide diamond shape. The knees gently out. If you need to, you can place blocks, blankets underneath the knees. You could even sit on a prop if you need to help elevate the hips. And let the spine be long here to start. And you have the option to stay upright. For some of you, this will be enough. You'll start to feel this release coming through the inside of the legs. Depending on where your heels are, will depend on where exactly you feel the stretch. So either staying or start to soften through the belly as you round through the back, starting to fold forward. And again, try not to just hang out. If you need to prop, you could place a bolster, a cushion, pillow on the feet, resting your arms down. You might even angle your prop to rest the forehead. I don't fold too far forward. It's taken me years to accept that. Some days I have more on offer than others. So notice where you need to be. And when you're there, take a couple of full rounds of breath, allowing yourself to surrender to this moment. Keep the breath moving. Keep the body soft. Right, Yin. You want to be a 5, 6 at the most out of 10. There's effort, but it's balanced beautifully with ease. The moment we force the body, there becomes that lock, a blockage to allow us to go further. So if you need to ease back, take yourself back. Just one more minute here. If the mind is really active, count 10 rounds of breath. The inhale and the exhale as one. In your own time, gently lift yourself up, mindful to move whatever props you're using gently to one side. Gently fold the feet back together as you curl back into that ball. Allowing your chin to tuck towards your chest. Jason Crandall, yogi, says that a mat is the perfect place to be curious about who we really are. Sometimes that can be confronting. Sometimes it can be awakening. Whatever it is for you, invite it with no judgment. Slowly lifting yourself up. From here, we're gently going to prepare to come into Mermaid Pose. So folding that left leg on top of your right. And I'm going to encourage a prop, a pillow, a cushion, whatever it is that you can place underneath the right side of the torso. If you haven't got anything at home, then you can come down to the ground. It'll be just as good. But start to fold over that prop, letting the torso fall there. And then reach that right arm out in front. And this is where I'm just going to grab a block. You might have a book at home if you haven't got a yoga block. Place it underneath the head. Your head might meet the ground. So this is where we adjust where we need to. And then that left hand might just sit on the left hip. Or maybe you might reach it up and over. Just turning the timer on. It's always tempting for me in a pose like this. You can get quite comfortable. So try not to get too comfortable. Still be aware of where you are working the body. The knees might be stacked one on top of the other. Or you may like to extend that top leg straight, letting the foot meet the ground. You start to notice the whole of the left side of the body. The right side supported by whatever you have underneath it. The top side starts to find that expansion. Just where you need to. Often the adjustment is not physical, it's that energetical shift. Take a full breath in here. A long, slow breath out. Just 30 more seconds here. If that left leg is extended long, gently bend it back to meet the right knee. Bring the left hand to the ground. Gently start to push the earth away as you slowly lift up. And just pause here. Notice the energy down the right side. Balanced with that softness on the left. The young movement we're using tonight is just transitioning from pose to pose. If you ever need anything more active, Vinyasa, then that is your call. But try to keep the stillness, that space that you have created. And then gently, either just rolling over to come onto the other side. I'm going to turn in so that I'm facing you. This time, it'll be that right leg that is stacked on top. Finding your mermaid legs and laying the torso over your prop. Letting that left arm slide out to the side. Finding that prop underneath your head. That first minute, as I said, is finding comfort. The right arm might reach down by your side, or you might reach it up and over the head. With the legs, you might keep one knee on top of the other. Or you might start to straighten that right leg. Try and balance out one side to the other. So we were on the other side. Find that same shape on this side. Awareness to the breath. Have you forgotten to keep it moving? Sometimes we get so lost in that moment. It is almost that task for air again. See if you can keep the breath consistent. And when you're off your mat, remember the breath. So things are a little out of your control. Just stop and breathe. Maybe you take that square breath, even 5 rounds, and then carry on with whatever you're doing. You do not have to be on a mat to practice yoga. It doesn't have to be for an hour, 45 minutes. It could just be for 5 minutes. Slowly fold that right leg back on top. And gently bring the right hand to the ground as you gently lift up, finding your mermaid legs. But pausing here for a moment. Notice both sides of the body awaken. The past behind us. The future lies ahead. But in this moment, we are present. And slowly, gently move any props you have up to one side. Slowly transition onto your backs. The first time we're coming onto our back. So just pause in that mini Shavasana for a moment. Palms facing down or facing up. Just notice how you've landed. And slowly fold your hands onto your hips. And gently walk both legs over to the right side of your mat. And want to feel the stretch come down the left side of the body. It might be enough with the legs next to each other. For some of you, you'll want to take the right leg over top or maybe the left. Then keeping that left hip grounded, reach the arms overhead. Start to walk both shoulders over to the right, bringing the upper body into that banana curve. And again, notice where you need to be with the upper body. Arms wide. Maybe you're holding your own hand. See if you can keep the left hip, the left shoulder grounded. And if you haven't already, I invite you to close the eyes down. This is one of my favorite poses to feel that release through the side body. Let the face soften. Let the jaw be loose. The tongue gently dropping away from the roof of the mouth. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're holding on. Let the body be completely at ease. Slowly bring the upper body back center, lowering the hands back onto your hip points, uncrossing the legs if they were crossed, and just bringing them back to the middle. Just take a moment to pause in center. How does the body feel? Does one side feel a little different to the other? Sometimes the sensation is stronger. Other times it's barely noticeable. In your own time, coming over to the other side, both legs walk over to the left. You find where you need to cross one ankle or the other. Reaching the arms overhead, taking both shoulders to that left. And try not to let the right hip, right shoulder lift. See whether you can keep them grounded. As we start to get closer towards our final resting pose, let the noises around you become faint whispers. Aware of them, but no reaction. At the halfway mark, what does that even mean? Do you stay? Do you go further? Do you ease back? Sometimes one side seems to go so quickly, at other times it feels like time has stopped. Slowly coming back with the upper body through center. Lowering your hands back to your hip points. Gently drawing both legs back to center. And then slowly bend the knees as you curl the knees to your chest. Just pause here for a moment. Maybe you start to bring some rocking through the body. It might be slow, it might be vigorous. Just notice what you need before you find that place, our final rest. Then extend both legs long, wide to the edges of your mat. Let the feet come out to the arms down by your side, palms gently facing upwards. Softly pushing into the back of your head to lift your heart as you roll the shoulders under. Take a moment to scan the body. If there's any areas still holding on to tension, send the breath there. Let it linger and then let it go. I'm going to leave you in your Shavasana. Stay as long as time permits. There is no hurry to leave your mat. When you feel the time has come out slowly. Gratitude to you all for joining me in the beautiful practice of Yin, allowing us to take a moment to slow down, to connect back to ourselves. As you go throughout your week, do something that excites you, something that brings joy. Nourish your body well, and speak kind thoughts to yourself. The light in me honors and sees that light in each and every one of you, from my heart to yours. Namaste.